Hi guys, and welcome to the FireButton Podcast.
Hey.
I'm Steve.
I'm Harry.
I'm Merc.
I'm Jay.
Merc's not medicated for once. This is a fucking
I'm
turn.
not.
Right.
I'm alright today.
Way!
Alright, so without further ado...
What have we been playing?
So, yeah, I guess, what have I been playing this week? Well, it's been a mixture of a lot of things. I've been having, recently migrated to the great commerce thing that is Steam. I've been kind of playing everyone else's Steam games via Steam Share.
Because as the Fub Father, we give all our games to him.
Yes, all hail me. No, it's been mostly Surgeon Simulator and Papers, Please. I've been sick recently, and Papers, Please was my means of medicating myself by being an evil bastard at a border checkpoint inspired by the Berlin Wall.
I've only heard about that one. It's like, the game is, can you be either a genuine nice person, or do you be nasty just to make the daily quota?
It's shades of grey everywhere, if I'm brutally honest. It's fun, but it's just a little bit... It's a true morality gauge of how you are in that game if you want to try and make it through. Anyway, so, what have you been playing, Mike?
Well, when you've not been getting me on Papers, Please and turning me into the ultimate bastard, I've been playing Titanfall again. I went back on that. There's a shitload of updates gone on it, and the Horde mode equivalent is actually a lot better than I thought it'd be.
So is it you versus bots, or...?
It still jumps you into a lobby, because Titanfall doesn't believe in single player, but you basically get some form of objective that you protect against waves of enemies, but they've added in new versions from the standard game. Yeah.
So there's new enemies added for this mode?
Yeah, there's new enemies, they'll look like the old ones, but these ones sort of blow themselves up and do a shitload of damage to everything.
I was going to say, because when you said look like the old ones, I thought, is this like Castlevania sprite recolours where they just hit harder? Like in the RPG games?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fair enough. What have you been playing, Joe?
Well, as the retro guy, I've basically dug out Taito Legends 2, and I found myself playing a stupid amount of Puzzle Bobble 2 on it. The Puzzle Bobble games, side shoot of Bubble Bobble. I'm going to say bobble a lot, sorry.
Bubble, bubble,
Bobble, 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 bobble. Anyway, yeah. Came out over here as Bust a Move, and it's a bubble matching puzzle game that's it's shallow as hell. There's no way to build strategies or anything, but it's just like point, shoot, bubble, match 3. Way! But it's got the happiest soundtrack ever. And it's been good to play.
Yeah, sort of kind of related to Puzzle Bobble. I've been playing a lot of... I've just recently, this week, in fact, discovered Poochie Carrot. It's kind of like, alright, take Puzzle Bobble, or...
It's also by Taito.
Or Bust a Move, or whatever. You've got, gems that are kind of your bobbles, and you gotta match... No.
You don't have to match them.
No, you don't have to match them, because it's just the colours. What it is, it's like, you got a bat at the bottom, like Breakout, and you got to bat a ball to bat your little balls away. And then if you sort of make a whole bunch sort of fall down at once, say if they're held on with one ball at the top, and you get rid of that one ball, it all falls down and adds to the other player. It's actually really cool, and...
What's it called? Poochie Carrot?
Poochie Carrot.
Sounds one of the most awesome
Carrot
games
as in
ever.
gold. Carrot gold.
Right.
It is kind of literally a cross between Puzzle Bobble by Taito and
Breakout.
Taito's early Arkanoid series.
Breakout.
Which is Breakout.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But we've just sort of... Because Jay's been playing it with me as well, and there's actually quite a potential for strategy there, with different characters have different drop patterns that you sort of throw at your other player, and depending on where it drops them on the grid, you can either play something defensive so they can't get any combos, or you can just attack where it just puts them straight below the line. It's pretty interesting. We might have to banter it, because interesting.
Versus puzzle games always tend to be quite interesting in the whole dick
And it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
explain with audio only. You have to be there, man.
Okay, so shall we we had a suggestion for a topic, and that was best and worst endings in video games.
Oh, I've been racking my brains with this one. I have no clue.
I'm going to just fire the first shell. Best ending in a video game, Sega Rally. Win or lose, game over, yeah! You can't beat it. It's
Agreed.
worst ending, I'm kind of. Yeah, I'm pulling a blank. Let's just go with something easy. Keeping with Steve likes Borderlands a lot. Borderlands 1's ending was a bit of a shithouse. You know, you do this big adventure and then tentacle monster. You saved the world. The end.
You saved the world.
You know, that's probably not my true worst ending, but it's the first one that comes to mind on shit endings for games.
See, you could actually have a really bad ending, like the 32X version of Doom, which is my worst. Not because, right, you play the game from beginning to end, you get the same as Doom 2 on the PC, you know, the sort of roll call of all the monsters, you press a button to shoot it and go on to the next one. But if you have the audacity to start on any level you've got up to, other than the first, and play through to the end, you get a fucking DOS prompt. They didn't finish the game. You know, this is a console game, and you've got a PC, C drive, DOS prompt.
That's awesome.
That's it. It freezes at that because it's not a fucking PC. Worst ending ever. Literally. And you know, this is it comes from a high amount of bad endings, because I was actually thinking about the Sega Master System version of Shinobi, which, if you lose all your lives, black screen, white text, game over. If you finish the game, black screen, white text, game over. Doesn't matter. Oh. Best ending. I had to think about best ending. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Endings, man. I like arcade games. You just play forever until you die. Well, what have I got to say? I got to say best ending? Ghosts and Goblins. Because you get to the end of the game and it says, do it again but harder.
That's just a dream come true for you.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Seems cruel and unusual punishment, but then again, that's standard for that series.
There's Ghosts and Goblins, man.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Speaking of cruel and unusual punishment, it took me ages to think of my worst game and my best game, but my worst game ending, I would have to say, is Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. For those that are not familiar, that's the first Spyro classic, in quotation marks, classic Spyro game to come out on the PS2, and only classic Spyro before they started to mess with it a bit. But yeah, the ending, Ripto comes back. You know, who's the enemy from Spyro 2. And you do the thing and whatever, and all of the game's shortcomings aside, it is a very pretty game. But then you get to the end, you defeat Ripto, and then it's like, oh no, I can't have anything I want, this scepter is crap, I will see you again. It disappears, and then that's it. It's like, oh, you win. Okay, yay!
He's like, ow, bye.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the, Spyro 2, which is where Ripto is from, you know, there's 3 rounds, the final round of which he's flying around on a gigantic phoenix, and when you win, he falls into the lava, and then you go on holiday, you know.
Is that your best then?
It's not, actually, but it's just comparing here, you know, what it could have been. But yeah, my best ending, it took me a while to think of, was actually R-Type Delta. Because, man, the scope, it's pretty awesome. When you start R-Type Delta, it just seems like an arcade shooter. You know, it's pretty cool. But as you go through it, and very few people get to the end, without constant working at it, but as you go through it, the scope gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're on the final stage battling a gigantic sort of ovum with all these sperm and whatever, and you've got to, you know, basically it nicks off with your force, you've got to dodge everything until you can explode the fucker, and oh man, it's tense. Yeah. And I love that, and it's a good example of telling the story and evolution as well, without saying a single word. It's all there.
That's not even the last, that's not even the ending, is it? It's the last boss. I mean,
it has 3 separate endings.
The best of which is actually Cerberus, because you've got Albatross and the R9, and they're just like, game over, yeah, happy end, they escape. Game over, yeah!
Sorry.
But Cerberus actually gets stuck in the final, the final stage is like the Dark Forest, you know, for those who played R-Type Final. That's where it comes from. And it gets stuck there for eternity, and you just don't escape, and it's all grim and horrible, and the credits change, and yeah, I love that ending. I like that more than R-Type Finals ending, and I never thought I'd like anything more than R-Type Finals ending.
Fair dues.
I'll stop rambling now.
Come on then, Mike. You've been waiting.
Worst ending. I don't care if it's a cheap shot. Halo 2. Sort your fucking self out. For anyone that's not completed it, it's basically, you do the last level, you've got waves of enemies, all this shit, you're fighting your way out, and the cutscene happens. Master Chief stands on top of this type of bomb thing, and someone says through radio, "What you doing?" Master Chief looks at the camera and goes, "I'm finishing this fight." Cut to black, start credits. What the fuck did you do?
What happened?
Halo 3 starts, you're somewhere fucking else. So like, what the dick happened?
It's like the developers, they're working on this game for a few months, about 2 years, whatever. They're like, shit, guys, we ran out of game. What do we do?
You're just like, psych, done.
DOS prompt.
What's your best game ending then?
The best ending, this one's a bit of a cheat. It's not so much my best ending, but it is one that I find the funniest. Final Fight. Whichever Final Fight versions have got all three of the characters in. You beat Belger, or however you pronounce it, Belger. Cody punches him through the window. The cutscene happens. Haggar's hugging his daughter, who you've just saved. Cody fucks off. Guy follows him, jumps in front of him, kicks the fuck out of him till he turns around, and it's just like, mate, talk to your fucking missus. You just had to fight half the bastard city for this. You're not pissing off now. And the whole thing could just be like reenacted in a soap.
And with a Cockney accent, apparently.
Yeah.
Is it Final Fight or Altered Beast where they're like snapshots of all the enemies and the characters being all buddy-buddy with each other?
Oh, that's Altered Beast.
Oh, right, I thought it was Final Fight. Never mind.
Yeah, because they take all the masks off and it's like some kind of green screen TV show.
That's a story for another time.
Right. Well,
Altered Beast should never have been made.
I think we covered that on FireButton quite directly, didn't we?
Yeah. Which links us nicely to what else should never have been made.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a radio link there. Yeah.
I know, yeah.
I wish I'd have thought of Altered Beast, actually, but I've got a different one.
Go on then, Harry.
Alright, I'm going to be really controversial, or maybe not, but, okay. I think Five Nights at Freddy's 2 should never have been made. Now, don't get me wrong, I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's great. But I think the first game was nigh on perfect. They just could not improve it. And I think they probably just added a little too much to the second game and took away some of that utter genius, I think. I mean...
Less is more kind of thing.
Yeah, less is more. The balance is still good, but... I don't know, it's one of the things about Five Nights at Freddy's, the first one that I really liked, was its sheer simplicity and accessibility, and yet it still scared the pants off you. And, was a great game. It was
didn't
simple.
have a knowing balloon boy.
Yeah. Whereas, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, it still takes the same thing, but you've got more enemies, you've got more things to watch out for, and it is a lot of fun, but I think the first one was perfect enough. It didn't need a sequel.
Yeah, I've got to agree, because basically, I'm kind of against sequels. Personally, as a general rule, I don't really like sequels. Which my nomination for game that should never have been made is actually the sequel to my favourite game ever. My favourite game ever is Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think Sonic 2 shouldn't have been made.
But that soundtrack, though...
Right, Sonic 2 was a great game.
Please, Sonic
right?
CD.
Sonic 2, it's still one of my favourite games. And, I'm glad it has been made, but the reason I think it never should have been made is because Sonic the Hedgehog was such a great game. And, it was unique. That was like the main selling point of it. It was unique, this really fast platform game. Sonic 2 sort of took it, and it did make it faster, but you've got lots more loops, lots more roller coaster bits, lots more hit the sideways spring and just watch the level play itself for a few seconds bits. It's sort of... the Sonic series has been famously on a downward trend.
An ever-decreasing downward spiral.
And yeah, I think it's because of, the fact that second one just took, people like the fast bits, herp-a-derp, let's make it faster and focus more on the fast bits, and, sort of forgot the platforming.
Threw the balance out of whack a little bit.
And as I say, I like Sonic 2 a lot, but I don't think it should have been made.
Okay. Mine is Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. I am a massive fan of the Prince of Persia series, but the trilogy to which Forbidden Sands sort of got forced into, I think that was good enough as it was.
It wasn't kind of a cash-in style thing, though. I mean, people didn't react well to the other Prince of Persia reboot they did and thought, right, okay, they want the old Prince of Persia. Here you go, have that game.
And also, it was released to coincide with the Sands of Time movie.
Yeah.
A movie tie-in.
It was viewed as a cash-in, and it was sort of like the game itself, playing through them and playing through the second and third game, which is where this is based between. It pretty much just like explains little things that don't need explaining. And it's just like, I've got that wrong. It's the first and second game it's based between.
Oh, I thought it was.
I was trying to figure out which game. What? But yeah.
Was it like the emergence of the Dark Prince?
No, basically, the only particular relevance it's got that turns up in Warrior Within is it shows where he gets his time medallion from instead of the dagger. That's it.
Okay, so
Everything else that happens is sort of self-contained. So it's like,
you replaced a stabbing weapon for a bit of bling.
yeah. And it's
The
like,
game.
I like the games. I like all three of the normal trilogy, and I like Forgotten Sands. But because it was released to coincide with the movie, that was a bad call on its own. And it just doesn't really have anything to do with anything.
Literally just feels shoehorned in because, movie,
Yeah,
pleasure.
it's pretty much the exact same thing of why I'm not going to play DMC. Because it's one of them things where it might not be so bad, but it shouldn't have been part of this.
It's kind of bad that I want to see a cheesy, over-the-top action film based around Devil May Cry, a game-based movie that could be as
So
bad as
long
it
as
wants,
it's
and it would be
delightful
authentic.
enough. As long as it's
Yeah.
delightful enough, I'd be up for that.
We should definitely talk about game-based movies one podcast.
Yeah.
But this is not the one.
Alright, so, my game that hasn't been made. Right, okay, pop quiz. What's one of Steve's favourite game franchises?
Resident Evil.
Okay, what's his favourite game from that franchise?
2.
Code
Right.
Veronica.
I'll strangle you. Right, okay, now take that. Steve likes his Gears of War third-person shooters and stuff.
I know where you're going with
Right,
this.
okay? And I like Resident Evil 2. Now imagine merging these two. Sounds like right up Steve's street. Yeah? Boom! Operation Raccoon City. Perhaps the shittest game I've ever played.
Yeah, but just because I like Jaffa Cakes and curry doesn't mean I want to put them together.
Yeah, I know, but this is video games. It's serious business. Honestly, the game, it took everything that was good about Resident Evil 2 and pissed all over it with a tactical shooter where the enemies are, in the context of the original game, they seem to have increased durability, they do a lot more damage, and everything's shooting at you, and the zombies, they're the only thing that's there that's like wet cake. The game is, it's boring, fights are long, the only good thing about it is A, the soundtrack, and B, the FMV designs in the trailer. So basically, just watch the fucking trailers. That game was an abomination that should never have been made, and it's clearly a cash-in on the whole action shooter bit, while people still wanting a Resident Evil 2 remake.
I'm sorry, but you are missing one of the good points about that game.
Go on then.
I know you're not a big fan of public multiplayer, but the way that did multiplayer was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of like the whole two teams fighting thing while you've got all of the normal enemies there as well.
See, I could have seen that working in something like Lost Planet 2, where they're having a big open battle and then you've got, say, the acrid aliens beating the shit out of them. Something like that. That would have been great, but no.
I agree with you on...
If this was Room 101, I would fucking lift that lever and throw the fucker in for people who watch BBC TV in the 90s.
Yeah, I agree with you that the game wasn't particularly amazing, but it had a fantastic moment of multiplayer for me where you've got to collect 5 samples at G-Virus, get them back to your base, or best of 5, running around the corner, dodging bullets fired from 3 other players, run into the room, pick up the sample, turn around, and it's like, there's going to be a guy with a shotgun, isn't there? No, it's Mr. fucking X.
Right. Okay. Well, X painfully leads this segue into Christmas plans, or Xmas plans, or seasonal greetings, whatever the fuck
I'm not the
plans.
only one doing shitty radio links.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning, that wasn't fucking planned.
No, well,
I didn't realise I did that.
Like we plan it.
well, that's the point. We're doing it now. Having a brief
Oh,
rant
yeah,
table.
yeah. What we got planned for Christmas?
What the heck are we planning for Christmas?
I don't know. That's the point. This small section of the podcast.
Ice physics!
Yeah, I know.
Toe Jam and Earl was mentioned because presents and Santa.
Okay, so Toe
We
Jam
need to
and
get
Earl.
Edie for that one. Hello, Edie.
Lord Beard, who makes my beard noise. Pale
Yeah.
in comparison.
See, the thing is, we can't really keep doing Christmas-related games because we've basically done them all.
We've done Christmas nights.
Yeah, we've done Christmas
Again.
nights. We've done Death Smiles too, which we didn't even do at Christmas because we're wank.
I'm sure there's more games set at Christmas. It's just, do we want something a bit more Christmassy? And presents seems like a good...
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Toe Jam and Earl is like a buddy game.
Yeah.
there were actually some Christmas-related tie-ins that were demo disc and demo tape things in the old sort of Commodore Amiga and Spectrum days, because you had Christmas Dizzy and Christmas Lemmings.
We could play Arkham City and visit Calendar Man. That takes about 5 minutes.
Calendar Man.
Yeah, he's one of the Batman villains. You basically see...
Shortest banter ever.
Yeah.
Who's this dickhead in a cell? Oh, it's him. Cool. Achievement.
Yo, Calendar Man, so,
Condiment.
bye. Calendar Man.
Sorry,
Jeez.
I thought you said Condiment Man.
Yeah, Condiment Man, yeah.
He just sprays tech ketchup on you and goes, fuck off.
Wasn't that an actual bad guy?
Hey, Condiment Man, no need to get salty.
Spike is waving frantically because he's not on the podcast. Yes, apparently Condiment Man is a bad guy. Confirmed. Here in the studio.
Right. So, I'm going to say Toe Jam and Earl, maybe something else, see what other surprises we can get. I mean,
If you got any suggestions for Christmassy themed things, let us know because we have no clue.
We've done them all.
or all we can think of, because we is a bit dumb.
You need it.
Alright, well, have we got any closing remarks?
Yes, actually, I would like to say a big thank you to all our new likers, subscribers, whatever, including Joe at ECG. It's awesome. Check out ECG. There's some really cool stuff on there.
ECG, what's that?
That would be Elite Championship Gaming. And as an added note, Halo 2 engine's still shit. Although I do have to complete it again at Master Collection, so I might do it on Legendary, see if there's out else.
Hey.
See ya!